I will call to order. And we will my computer's not. So we're going to call to order at 7:07 p.m. The Hampton Board of Education. I'm Rose Bisson, Chair. Our first topic is audience for citizens and staff. I'm just going to say that I'd like to hold comments to 2 minutes. And I'm going to ask people to try to be civil and not yell at the board. Thank you. Any citizens wish to
yes,
speak?
first
Alan?
Selectman Cahill, please.
Yes, Alan, all yours.
Thank you kindly. I know everyone's busy with compressed schedules, but I would just like to remind everyone that this time slot additionally in my memory has always been for planning and zoning. So I'm juggling both meetings, which is awkward from my position.
Yes, we did this just until today's meeting. We just did it for 2 of them,
right.
And we weren't planning on doing it anymore. So I think that should be better.
Thank you kindly.
Does anyone else have anything?
Hi, Rose, I'm sorry, Susan Lovegreen. I just wanted to let everybody know that I've got Ann on the phone.
Oh, thank you.
Say
Great.
hi, Ann. Hi. Okay, thank you. Sorry to interrupt.
That's okay. And then Dana, were you trying to say
I
something?
was, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I think at the last meeting, Juan Arreola made some claims regarding the board's alleged violations of state statute with respect to appointment of people to fill vacancies, that his claims were questioned as to the truth of them. So I did go to the vault to obtain the documents to ascertain the veracity of his claims. Briefly, I have the minutes of August 20th, 2009, where the board accepted the resignation of Kathy Donahue and at the same meeting voted to leave it unfilled, which was a violation of the statute that you were discussing last meeting. I have there was some concern about setting a precedent and not interviewing a candidate, but I have the minutes of December 14th, 2011, when the board appointed Doug Stewart without interview. I don't know if this was questioned, but I do have the February 2015 written apology from then Chairman John Burnham regarding FOI violations against Juan Arreola when there was a appointment of vacancies. I also have the April 23rd, 2018 enrollment date from the registration card of Rose, which means that the board was out of compliance in terms of minority representation for 3 months because the position wasn't filled until July 23, 18. And at that July 23, 18 meeting, it also shows that Democrats only were present to select and appoint a Republican to fill a vacancy, and a vacancy that had to be filled by a Republican. So I can get copies of this if you like, or I can send you the dates, and it's easier to go through the vault yourself, at least if you know. Those are the things that he alleged. And those are the—
Well, no, he alleged a few other things that I was going to research, but I'm so glad you did this for me because I cannot go to town hall. So the fact that you did that was very helpful. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I just also like to say that at the last meeting, I asked the administration to inform us of any special events at Hampton Elementary School, and us, I mean the Gazette. And so I was a little disappointed to see a few days later reading an article on the commemoration of 9/11 in the Willimantic Chronicle. So, I mean, if the school doesn't want to apprise the town newspaper of the happenings at the school, then just say so. And we can publicize that instead of us being criticized for failing to cover events at the school. Okay. Thank you.
Any other citizens wish to speak? Okay, then we'll move on to correspondence to the board.
Okay, I have 2 letters of resignation that we received. The first one is from Dr. Judy Benson Clark. Dear Chairwoman Bisson and Dr. Ola, this letter, it was dated September the 10th. This letter serves as my 2-week notice to Hampton Public Schools. My final day contracted by Hampton will be September 24th, 2021. I have grown to love and believe in the staff, children, and community. I wish continued success to Hampton Public Schools. Thank you for letting me be part of such an exceptional community. Sincerely, Dr. Judy Benson Clark. The second letter of resignation is September the 17th, and it says, "Good evening, Frank and Sam. In light of my move to Vernon, I made the difficult decision to avoid commuting and have offered my resignation and accepted, I'm sorry, I have been offered and accepted a position in the Stanford, boy, I need to get new glasses. Stafford Public Schools as the Secretary of Pupil Services, giving me the ability to work with Special Education Department. I have thoroughly enjoyed my brief time here at Hampton Elementary School and will miss the amazing staff. It is a fantastic team and made coming to work all worth it. I let this email serve as my 2-week notice. I will use my last remaining vacation day on September the 28th and 2 additional personal days at September 29th and the 30th prior to my last day of employment. My last official day at Hampton being September 30th. I want to thank you both for being exemplary role models and providing providing that dedication and hard work truly makes life amazing. Thank you again. And it's Lisa Sewell, our administrative assistants. Those are the 2 that I have received.
All right. And we neglected to put on the agenda accepting the resignations.
We'll have to add that. Sorry
Yeah,
about that.
It's okay. I put it under additions to the agenda.
Yep,
Was there any other correspondence?
nothing.
Okay. On to approval of minutes. Letters of resignation. Oh, no. I just read the wrong one. Approval of the minutes from 7/28/21, 8/30/21, and 9/15/21. Do you wish to take?
To approve. I move to approve the minutes of 7/28/21, 8/30/21, and 9/15/21.
Do we have a second? Great.
Who said that?
Mark?
Who seconded, please?
Mark,
Well, you were the first, I thought, Mary Ellen, and then Mark seconded.
Yeah,
Okay,
okay, thank you.
you're welcome. Do we have any
you look fine to me.
discussion?
I have one piece on,
Okay, Mary Ellen had her hand up, so we'll have her go, then Juan.
okay, on August 30th, Ann and I were switched. Ann gave the report from Cave and I gave the report from Easton. It just said the opposite. It's not a big thing.
Okay. Which date was that? Well, you'll get it right.
August 30th?
Okay.
Yeah.
Juan, you wanted to say something?
Yes, when we accept her, Mrs. Clark, Vincent Clark's resignation, can we put with appreciation and regret?
You know what? I think that's a great idea. How about if you make the motion? But I
Okay.
would like that too. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. 1 is 4. Okay. Any other comments on the minutes? Hearing none. All those in, well, nope, I'm going to take you based on how you show up on my computer. So Mark,
Oh, yes.
Mary Ellen,
Yes,
Susan,
Yes,
Juan,
Yes,
and I'm going to vote. So we have a quorum voting.
we have
No.
Ann as well, Rose.
Oh, Anne, because of the phone. I'm sorry, Anne. You voted yes? Okay.
You're on speaker, right? Well,
Yeah, I'm sorry. I looked
No,
at the
she said-
pictures.
I got my volume turned really up high, so
Yeah, okay,
we're
great.
good.
Okay, superintendent's report.
You have my report in front of you. Basically, we talked about, I talked about the resignations. We've had a number of resignations in the past few months. We have been able to successfully find other people, or we have been able to successfully do a number of interviews, and we're trying to determine who will replace Lisa and Dr. Benson Clark. So we're in that process right this minute. It's also, and I hope Linda will be able to give us a little bit more background, but Linda brought in another $1,000 grant. She seems to do this almost yearly. So congratulations, Linda. It's from the World Wildlife Federation. It has to do with, it's called the Food Waste Warriors Project. And I gave you a small detail of the reduction of waste products out of the school cafeteria. That project, Linda has been, will be working on very specifically all of this year. We've been working with the town, Sally and Sam and I have been working with the auditor to try to make sure that we could collect all the documentation he requested relative to the encumbrances that you will be addressing at the time, another time in this meeting, relative to the fact that we have expended monies, ordered materials, not having received them in the normal course of events relative to June 30th. And that was all because of the COVID issue. So we are trying to make all of those corrections. And at this point, it looks as if the auditor will accept the technology piece, but will not accept the idea that the playscape was ordered in a timely fashion. We ordered it back at the very beginning of June, and although the salesman and the catalog said it should be shipped in a week from the day it was ordered, back on the 5th of June, it just came to us this last week. And then I listed in my report the open positions that we are currently striving to fill. And if any of you have any ideas in terms of, especially the Director of Special Education Administrative Assistant, that would be extremely helpful. And because the Director of Special Education has a very specific certification needs, I listed those needs. That's my report. Any questions?
Excuse me, yes, Frank.
Yes.
Susan Lovegreen. I have looked through all of the emails and I don't see your report in any of the documentation that we got. Did anybody get the report? Did I miss it? Or is that just verbal? I mean, you keep
No,
referring.
it was mislabeled, Susan. It's in the package that Sally sent us. It was like the second or fourth or whatever. There was 3 sets of minutes, and then it was, I think it may have been labeled minutes, but it's actually his report.
Oh, there it is. Right on. Got it.
I
Thank you.
could have swore it was there.
No, you're right. It was mislabeled. I was just scrolling over the titles. There you go. Thank you. All right. Thanks, Frank. I'm good.
Okay, thank you. Just so everybody knows, does anybody know who a Bob Clark is?
I don't. No one else seems to.
It says neither I nor a friend were led into tonight's BoE meeting. It's a public meeting. I do not think that this is acceptable or appropriate. Bob Clark looks like it is Judy Benson Clark's ex-husband.
Oh, I would let him in if, I didn't even
Okay.
think of him, but
I had no idea.
yeah. Bob, I didn't think his name was Bob, but that's okay. So we can let him in and I'll apologize to him. And we'll ask him the name of his friend and his friend could be let in as well. Is he still trying or is he?
I don't see him trying, but I just emailed him to tell him to please try.
Okay, great, thank you. We'll move on to the principal's report.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Everyone's been really busy and buckling down. Not too many events going on. But it's going to be a NIAC year, so I've been putting a lot of my energy into getting ready to have our NIAC accreditation audit.
Great, thank you.
Just so you know, Judy Benson Clark and Bob Clark, I think, are now on. So if you want to tell them why I didn't let them on.
Well, I thought we could at least let Sam finish her
Oh, I
report.
thought
and
she
then
did. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
No, I'm good, unless anyone has any questions.
Which was my next thing. Does anyone have any questions for Sam?
Juan,
Yes,
Hi.
what is our total population at this minute?
the report indicated 78.
78 students in the building.
Good, thank you very much. And how many kids are riding the bus?
I have the other side of that. I have 34 families, some of them with multiple children, getting picked up daily. It
Okay,
takes
thank you.
approximately a half an hour to pick up those children because of the process.
Okay,
Thank you.
Sam, based on the chart that you have,
Mhm.
it's 78 total, but that counts the 6 outplaced and STEM children.
Yes,
So we have
Oh.
really 72 in the building?
in the building.
Okay, thank you.
Did I say in the building? I apologize.
It's okay. I mean, it's important we remember we're paying for those other 6 children in our budget. So I think it's good that they're included. Okay, now I want to apologize to Judy and Bob. A week ago, we had a very concerning incident with Zoom. So this week we were trying to let people in that we knew, and we didn't recognize Bob Clark as a person we knew. And I should have thought of you and remembered Judy Benson Clark, but I apologize. I think maybe this tells us we need to ask people to email us and tell us if they plan to attend the meeting. So we'll make sure and let them in and not let in the Zoom trolls. But I'm sorry for the inconvenience, and I'm glad you were able to email Dr. Ola. Okay.
Rose, can I say something about the principal's report?
Yes, please do.
Mary Ellen. Yeah, I just wanted to say that I appreciated the explanation of the math program and think it's very good.
So the interesting thing is my daughter in the 5th grade had the same format. So maybe Mark, actually, he was just a few years behind. Maybe when you were in elementary school, you had the same format too. In that she went at her own speed. Linda's explanation of, how each child would progress through the math time was very different than Elizabeth had. But the concept of moving at your own pace is one that was tried. So I hope this one works better. Okay, so we have on our agenda Director of Special Education's report, but technically our Director of Special Education has resigned, and I don't think it's fair of us to expect a report. Dr. Ola, was that an oversight that we put it on?
I guess it, yeah, well, let's see, when did I wrote this and sent it to you for review a week ago. So, yeah, it was an oversight.
It was an oversight. Okay,
Sent her letter of resignation on the 10th.
okay. So we apologize for that and hope it didn't cause any stress. We'll move ahead to the business coordinator's report. Mrs. Lahu?
Yes, I can answer any questions if someone has questions.
Well, hearing none, I guess we'll, Mark, yes.
Just from the year end for the audit, so I think Dr. Ola explained it a little bit. So there were the two things. There was the technology part, and then there was the playscape. Or is it still separate? That they want to consider those two things separately? I mean, kind of unique how we want to handle each.
I think this is on the agenda as a separate item. So if we want to talk
Okay.
about it then, or I can
Okay.
talk about it now.
That's fair. Yep.
So we'll talk about it later, you're saying is fair, Mark?
Yeah, I guess it's item 9 anyway. So
Okay, okay, great. All right, so we will move on to discussion and possible action on the line item transfers for the 2021 budget. So let's get those out.
Okay. The proposed transfers are at the bottom of Sally's report.
Yep,
Okay. there
sorry, that is true. Sorry. Said that out loud, my apologies.
It's okay.
Yep.
Sally, do you, I don't know if we need to clarify anything because, you do have bullets on the rationale behind it. Does anybody have any questions for Sally or myself on the need for those transfers?
Well,
So this is
No.
my only question would be, it says we're requesting 2 transfers,
Well,
but I
three,
think 3, okay,
sorry.
it's okay.
I apologize. I took that from my prior month report and didn't change the 2 to 3.
Yeah, that word processing is good, but it leads to mistakes. Yeah, okay. Do we have a motion?
well,
I'll move that we move $9,500 from 100 salary wages to 400 purchased property services, $35,000 from 200 benefits to 700 equipment, and $61,000 from 300 purchase professional technical services to 500 other purchase services.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it, and
Anne says she'll second it. Say it again, Anne.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Ann. Any discussion?
yes.
Yes, Mark?
Well, just so how does that tie into what elements of those are the playscape and or is that something different?
So the playscape and the technology are both in 700. They're the equipment pieces.
Okay, so that combined effort makes up the 35,000
Correct.
between the two.
Correct.
And that was, okay, so basically the final, because the other night at the F&O meeting, it was discussed that we might separate them out and that the,
I think I understand what you're getting at. You might approve one and not the other. And
right,
if that happens, these transfers will still be okay. They'll just be extra money in 700 that doesn't need to be there. But it can sit there as well as sit somewhere else. So you could approve it and that would be okay. You could approve or not approve the encumbrances.
So the benefit to approving, as I see it, is that will make the final copy of our budget what we expected to spend and where we expected to spend it. And sometimes for the future, that's good information to have.
okay.
Any further discussion?
Sorry, just to follow up then, as of right now, we don't have to absorb that 17,000 into this year's budget then?
Correct.
Okay. I'm good with that. All right, thank you.
Okay. Hearing no further discussion, I'll call the roll. Mark,
Yes,
Mary Ellen,
Yes,
Susan,
Yes,
Anne,
yes,
and Juan? Oh,
No,
okay, thank you all. The motion carries 1, 2, 3, 4 to 1. It's in chat, Dr. Ola, that Bob Clark is still blocked.
I don't see him asking to be in.
Okay, so we need him to re-ask to come in. I think, Dr. Ola, you emailed him that,
Yes,
but he probably isn't looking at his email right now. Judy, can you please tell Bob that we need him to re-apply to come in? And we'll let him in immediately.
Yes, I will do that because I think he's ready to file a state complaint. So yes, I will do that.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Yep. We'll move on to discussion and possible action on the finalized 2020-2021 budget report. Who's going to talk about that, Dr. Ola?
we'll have Sally do that.
Okay.
It's a technicality, really. Now that you've moved your monies.
Okay, so what happened is at the end of the year, in May and in June, we were going to have some money left over. So we went ahead and ordered our technology and our playscape, a section of playscape. Unfortunately, neither of those items came in before the end of the year. The auditor has said that the technology, he would agree, is an encumbrance because it was ordered in May, and that seems to fit his definition of encumbrance. The playscape, he will not approve as an encumbrance, and that was because he sees that was ordered in June, and he thinks that spending money just to use your budget does not fit the definition of an encumbrance. So that being said, that's his stand on it. The town then has the option of, so he'll give an adjustment saying, no, you can't have that in your budget. The Board of Finance can then agree to accept his adjustments or not accept his adjustments. So I don't know what their stand will be on that, but that is what it comes down to. If they do accept it, depending on how serious he thinks that is. He could issue a finding in his report that goes to the state saying that it's a material weakness. Or if it's not significant enough, then it wouldn't be listed in the report.
So I have a comment.
Anne has a comment.
Okay,
I wonder if, thank you. I wonder if articulating that it's an accreditation year for the National Association for the Education of Young Children, that's a requirement to get school readiness funding. And that may seem like a separate requirement, but it's related because the equipment could be used potentially by any child who's the right size for the equipment. So it's not a frivolous expenditure, is the point that I'm trying to make. It's integral to providing appropriate, developmentally appropriate services. The playscape.
okay, but the issue isn't it being frivolous. The issue is it being timely. That our auditor wants to match our expenses to the period in which the expenses were incurred as in used. Excuse me one second. Dr. Ola, will you please let Bob Clark in?
If I can, yeah, but I don't know where he is. If he's, I don't see him. All right, I will look.
May I suggest you look in the participants part, and then there's an end at the bottom where those that are not visible, you can make them visible. It's at the bottom of the screen where it says participants.
Well, that's what I'm looking at. He's not here as far as I can see. I don't see him here.
Dr. Oleg, he's the head of technology for a major corporation in Connecticut. He's an executive. So I mean, I'm not at the same location that he is, but he's very technologically savvy. So I would imagine that he's doing what's appropriate.
Well, I'm sure he is, but I don't see him on my list of people who are participating. Let me see if there's another way to look at this.
Yeah, he's within aerospace. He's literally a rocket scientist.
Well, that's fine. I'm not questioning his. I'm just, either I am not understanding where he is or where I find him. I enabled the waiting room. I'm in the waiting room. I don't see him looking to be in this waiting room. So it's I don't know what to tell you. He's not coming up on the top of the screen. It would be my error, but I see no way of getting him in because I don't see his name anywhere.
One suggestion I have is perhaps you could share ownership of the meeting with Mrs. Bisson, and she may be able to see the name or another member that she chooses.
I have it.
Kathy, you have a suggestion too? Kathy Donahue, were you waving because you have a suggestion?
Yeah, I was going to suggest he shared the meeting with me because I do the Zoom meetings also to see if I can find him since he's having difficulties.
Do you know how to do that, Dr. Ola?
I do not.
Linda, how do we do that?
So you click on how you're the owner. And that
Okay.
would be under participants. And you can add an owner or you can transfer the ownership.
Where do I
to another.
find that I'm the owner?
Oh.
Okay. Well, here's another way. This might be easier. You have his email?
I have of his. I have a Gmail, yeah,
Okay.
on my
So
phone.
under participants, when you click on it, it says invite Alt 1. If you click on that, you can add his Gmail address, and send him the email link to join again. And then if he clicks on that, it should come right to yours. So down on participants, down at the bottom of your screen, it's third over for me.
Yep. Well, it's the
There's
second over
invite.
me.
There's
Okay.
invite, and you click on that and it will say you said he had a Gmail. So you'd click on Gmail and you can send him the invitation directly you can click on copy invite invitation or invite link and then put in his email. And then he'll get it that way and he'll come right to you because you're there.
Okay, let me see if I can have his.
It would be just go to the email he sent you, requesting to come. And if you click on that, it will show up in a white box. Copy his email from there, Control C, and you can pop it right into the email address. But
So
that
can
way
I-
it's linked to the email.
Oh, can I
Frank?
just do it? I'm sorry. It's Susan Love Green. I'm happy to do it.
Would you do it, please? 'Cause
Yes.
I have no
Is that
idea.
okay? Can I do it?
Do
Yeah,
you
please.
have his email though? That's the
I just
question.
have to click send.
Okay,
All right, so I have an email, I went into my school email and I received an email from him, so I am responding to that one and I'm
Okay.
sending him the link, if that's okay with everyone.
oh, no, that's great. I didn't know that he sent it to all of you. I would've
I'm sorry,
said
and maybe that's not, I'm just trying to be helpful.
Yep, that's fine.
Sorry, I'm
I
sorry.
am not.
Oh, it's good, and I apologize. I apologize. I didn't want to be rude or kick anyone's business out to the curb.
No.
Thank you.
Well, I think it works better because Frank was doing one thing from his phone and the other from his computer, which might not have synced very well. So let's see if he can get in. Judy, would you mind contacting him and telling him our latest attempt so he'll know it's coming through an email?
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
I still don't see him anywhere.
Okay, so I'm torn on what we should do.
if you want to change owner, I can try to walk you through that.
I think the host may need to unblock him. I think he's blocked.
So Linda, how would Frank unblock Bob?
We just give Linda like ownership. I mean, she probably could work with it and get this fixed very quickly.
So Linda, how
Only if
would,
you want to try, but to unblock someone, he should be showing in the participants list. And then the only block that can happen is he's not showing himself.
So Linda and team, he did get Susan Love Green's invitation and he clicked it, but he's blocked by the host. The host is shown by as Dr. Ola, and he is
Uh,
blocked by him.
No, thanks. It was great.
So Dr. Ola, that may mean that at the beginning, when you said you were not accepting his invitation,
Correct.
that you made it a permanent not acceptance of his invitation.
How did I do that? Well, never
Well, you
mind.
said you didn't
How do I
accept
undo it?
Okay,
Is Mr. Clark a Hampton resident?
No,
So we've blocked a former spouse of a former employee.
correct. Because we had
He's
no
not a
idea.
Hampton resident. He does not have a child in the Hampton school system.
Nope.
Enough
You know
said.
what? If you want to,
I think we've
try
wasted
this
enough time and energy on this topic. My
Alan,
interpretation of public might be different than others.
Alan, I know this from Sprague and Kathy Austin. You can absolutely participate. It is called public, Alan Cahill.
Okay,
that Dr.
don't-
Ola,
I don't wish to get
directions.
into an argument. I agree that perhaps the FOI would not look at it the way Alan looks at it. But I'll ask you to please address your comments to the chair in the future. Okay, I'm sorry, Linda. You're gonna,
Sorry,
Go.
I'm sorry. I placed in chat how to unblock. So you would go, but it tells you there, I just added it to chat, the 2 steps. So you're on your Zoom and you go to your contacts and his name will show blocked and you click on it and it will unblock him. So I guess what I'm asking Dr. Ola, when you open up participants, do you
Yep.
see you're blocked and unblocked? Is it a list form for you?
It's a list.
Okay, so
But it
try to-
doesn't say, it doesn't have anything that says blocked. Everybody is in. I don't see Clark, Bob Clark or Bob anywhere.
All right, I think that the invite needs to come from you. But I also, my understanding is his name should show there. So if you click on your participants list to the left, it will say pop out. And when you pop out, you may see the names better, but that's where his name would be. We won't see his blocked name because we're not the owner. So the other thing would be to share ownership, and I can put that in for.
please
step-
do that. Please share ownership.
Just
Okay.
getting a little,
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's not your fault, Linda.
I'm putting it in chat so that you can see it.
Okay.
And I'll put it to Dr. Ola and I guess, should I put it to everyone? Do you all want to see how to do it? I don't know.
Bob Clark is still
I
blocked.
don't think it
I'll
hurts.
take a look.
being
Okay, I
recorded.
just put
Yeah.
it in. It's in, it tells you step by step. I'll just mute.
Oh my God. There are 7, 8, 9 steps.
They're quick steps.
Well, maybe quick for you. All right.
Well, at this point, I'm feeling the need to adjourn the meeting, and we'll have to reschedule a special meeting.
Chairman Rose,
Yes.
this is David Hallback. Hello.
Hi, David.
Before the next meeting, can you make arrangements to get me sworn in or do what has to be done?
Absolutely.
Get a hold of me.
I'm sorry. Can you
That's
go,
okay.
can you go to town hall tomorrow?
No, I'm gonna be out of town for a week. I'm flying out early tomorrow morning, so it'll have to be when I come back. Around the 5th of October, if you got your calendar.
I do. Around the 5th of October? Okay.
So
Um,
I'll get a hold of you when I get back. I'll call you or something, you know?
Is the,
okay.
oh, I'm sorry. Rose, is the town hall open?
Tuesday and Thursday.
All right, so what do you have to do to get sworn in? Do you just go see the town?
Yeah, somebody should make arrangements so the town clerk knows I'm coming and I don't have any problems up there and I just go and get sworn in.
Yeah, I
You're not gonna
did,
Just walk in, she won't know.
I did email the town clerk and tell her that you were appointed to the Board of Ed.
Yeah,
And I gave her the date. She now has the minutes, so she has everything she needs, but I will call her tomorrow.
and the other thing too is, my contact information, my email, phone number. Somebody, whoever needs to have that information, I'll share it with them. I'm not gonna share it over the meeting here, but at some point. So you gotta tell me what to do and I'll do it.
Could you stay on the
I can.
meeting after the recording's done, and then
Yes.
we'll take care of that?
All right,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
No, thank you. Okay, so. Yes, Mary.
Chairman Rose,
Yeah,
I heard your suggestion to adjourn and call a special meeting. I'm wondering if we should adjourn and up the meeting, because I don't know if we have to or not, but we have resignations that we have not accepted. Do we have to accept them?
well, we probably don't, but I like your idea anyway. If we shut down and then hopefully when Frank comes back, or why don't we shut down for 5 minutes? But we'll ask Linda to please work with,
He won't be blocked any longer if you do that suggestion.
oh,
Oh,
perfect.
God. Let's do that.
Okay, so let's take a short recess at 7:53. Let's come back at 8 o'clock. And we'll finish the meeting and hopefully we'll have everyone who wants to participate.
Thank you.
And do you
Thank
have a
you.
power cord?